Yesterday, I talked about how to set up a conversation properly with people in your hot market, people who support you, people who love you, close friends and family. It's a very, very important group because if you can get the support from that group, it's just so much more encouraging. People who have a supportive environment with their close friends and family just tend to last longer. They do more. They have a chance to get better results. They don't have so much resistance. Sometimes you can have lots of resistance, and that'll be motivation for you to move forward with or without their support. But if you can get their support, I think you'd agree that would probably be better. So once you've gone through kind of the 5 steps of complimenting them, right? Thanking them for their love and support, of letting them know you started a business. You can even tell them you're a company if you like. Quickly disqualify them as a distributor, right? Going through these different steps, and then letting them know your story, telling them your story, why you decided to get involved in this business. This is about you and about you sharing with them. It's not about connecting them to the opportunity or assuming that they're going to be a prospect. Today, I want to talk about 6 asks that you can make. Because if you set this up properly, you can say, listen, your support would really matter to me as I start my business. If I was going to go start a restaurant, I'd expect you to support me, at least in my grand opening. Encourage me if I'm having a rough day. I'd want you to I wouldn't expect you to come to my restaurant every day, but I'd expect you to come to my restaurant once. So you've supported me my whole life in one way or another. I'm going to give you a few ways that you could support me in my new business if you'd like. And it would mean the world to me if you did. Okay? I'll make it easy on you, I promise. But here's one way. Be my customer one time. Just like coming to my grand opening at my restaurant and having a meal. Buy one of my products once. Try it out and give me your feedback. Would you be willing to do that for me? I'm trying to get some customers in my first month. I'm trying to get some stories from those customers. I'm trying to get feedback on how the product works from people that aren't connected to my business. Would you be my customer one time? It costs $30, $50, $100, whatever it is, to be my customer one time. And I would really appreciate the fact of you doing that. It would really matter to me. This works for a bunch of reasons. It's one time. It's not a long-term commitment. It's specific. They know exactly what it costs. It's easy. You create clear boundaries of what happens next. It's safe. There's no pressure. And if somebody does that with me, if they want me to be a customer for forever, that's a different obligation. But if a customer one time to try it, sure, I'm going to do that to support somebody. And I think people in your life will support you too. So that's one. Now, if you have a service, it's a little different. Sometimes people can try the service. It depends on how expensive the service is. If it's an inexpensive service and the people in your hot market can afford it, and maybe your retention of that service matters in how you get paid commissions, you might ask them to be a service customer of your service for a year to give it a try. Maybe that's a reasonable price point, if you added it all up. Maybe you don't want them coming in for a month and then canceling or something that might affect you in your compensation, but because your retention, it would be low in that circumstance. But ask them. If it's not appropriate, if it's high ticket or it's not appropriate, then don't worry about this way. I've got 5 other ways. 1 is be a customer one time. I'd really appreciate it. 2 is, would you give me a product testimonial? From using the product, would you give me a testimonial that I can use and say, my brother used the product and here's what he thinks. My sister, my mother, my good friend, and here's what they think. Would you give me a testimonial after you've used the product, after you've tried the service, that I could use in order to be able to help other people become customers of mine? It would same thing. Would you give my restaurant a review on Yelp? You came to the restaurant, you tried the product. Would you give this particular meal a review? I'd really appreciate it. You can really help my business by doing that. Number 2. Number 3, ask them if you can practice your presentation on them. Look, you're not a distributor prospect, but I do need a friendly face. It would really help me if I could just practice my pitch. Can we jump on a Zoom? Can we get together for coffee? Can I go through my little presentation? I'm nervous. I'm new. I'm trying to figure out how to really master this presentation. You could help me. I just need a friendly face. Before I do this with a prospect for real, can I do this with you? And will you give me some feedback? I'd be super, super grateful if I could practice on you. Number 3. Step number 4 is ask them for advice. How would you build this business? If you were building it, how would you find customers? How would you expand into other parts of the city? How would you look for and find great people that you could recruit to be part of your network? How would you share the product? How would you show up on social? How would you communicate this? How would you do it? You got experience. You have business, a business life. You got a business mind. How would you take this product and move it into the marketplace in the most effective way? I'm super curious as to how you would do it. So ask them to give you some advice. Step number four is you can support option number 4. They could give you product or business referrals. Do you know anybody that could use this product? Do you know anybody that might be open to an opportunity? Do you know anybody? If I can get an introduction for you, that would really help my business. Like if you're in the restaurant, you open up a restaurant. Do you know anybody that likes this kind of food? Would you recommend them? Here's some business cards. Would you hand them out at your office? Would you help me find some people in order to be able to support my business? Would you let people know that I have a product that helps with these challenges in people's lives? And if you recommend, just like, if I was selling real estate, you might recommend to your friends, hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a house, my close friend or family member over here is a real estate agent. Same thing in this business. So ask them to give you product or business referrals. Support option number 6. So 1, ask them to be your customer one time. 2, ask them to give you a product testimonial. 3, ask if you could practice your presentation. Number 4, ask them to give you advice. Number 5, give you product or business referrals. And support option number 6, this is a big one. Ask them to support you. Will you support me? Will you push me? Will you hold me accountable? Will you refuse to let me play small? Will you keep me focused? If I feel like quitting, will you push me and not let me do that? I need a friend. I need somebody who really cares about me that won't let me quit. And it would mean the world to me if you would kind of coach me through it, because this is a new thing for me. And you're kind of involving them on your journey from a mentor or a friend position instead of as a distributor. And the benefits of all of this is if you set it up right and you make these asks. These are not difficult asks to be able to make of a hot market. They could give you all 6. They could give you 1. They could give you a couple of them, somewhere in between. But involving them in the process has them invested in your success and excited about what may or may not happen. It gives you an opportunity to do what our goal is, which is to educate people. Through this process, they're going to learn more about your business. They're going to learn more about your products. They're going to learn more about the opportunity. And just from the process, not from some fancy presentation where they're on the defensive, but more just them absorbing what it is that you do. That's our goal, is for people to understand what we do. And once they understand it, they can make a decision on their own, okay? Once they try your product one time, if they like it, they can continue. And once they help you with your business or coach you on your business, if it's interesting for them, they might think about an opportunity for themselves, but it's something that they sold themselves on, not something that you sold them on. Now, I want you to imagine doing this with every single person in your hot market, either from this moment forward or going back and fixing some of the problems that maybe you had in the past, right? By being a little too overhypey, a little too overexcited, okay? Maybe a little less skilled. Use this. It'll work. And more importantly, teach it to other people. It'll help them too. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.